Hi, Michael here again for another edition of It's Cuppa Time. It's been a while. What I'd like to talk about today is the explosion of sound workers, sound healers, however you want to define it. And we can see that. There's just everybody's got a gong, everybody's got a set of crystal singing bowls, and everybody's out there doing it. It's good to see. I'm excited that there's so much interest in this, something that I've done for a good part of my life. I'm very excited that people feel like they want to, get some bowls and gongs and stuff in and present sessions. But what I want to look at today is the reasoning behind doing all of this. It's an interesting journey. I've been doing it for a long time, and I plan to keep doing it because it's a never-ending journey. I don't have any end game. I don't have any end goal. It's just the path that I walk, and I keep walking. And I think that's something a lot of people miss. They have all these sort of goals, which we will talk about. But they don't realize that the journey is the goal. The journey is the only worthwhile goal, at least to me. So this is all my opinions. You are certainly free to disagree, and you probably have your own ideas, and that's fine. This is my YouTube channel, so these are my ideas and opinions. But let's take a look at, why do people get involved in this? Why do they want to do it? Well, I think the first thing is the sound. Really comes down to that. Maybe somebody went to a sound session and they were just like, wow, it did so much to me. And the sound of the gongs, the sound of the bowls, it really touched me. And I know that happens. I have friends who told me that. They said, I went to a session, I heard the stuff, it changed me. I had to get involved. I had to do it. I think that's a really good reason. If something is touched inside you, if something is changed, and you feel compelled to get some instruments and play them, I think that's great. I know of some people out there who have seen it as a way to perhaps make a lot of money or become famous, which are both sort of dubious reasons to get into this. And I have nothing wrong with people making money. I make money doing this. I have nothing wrong with people even becoming famous. I'll leave it up to you to define whether I'm famous or not. I don't think about that at all. And we have seen people, and there's one person in particular all of you will know who know. I won't name any names, but a person who blazed through the community and said, I'm really interested in doing this. And then they contacted all the sort of experts or long-time sound worker people like myself and pumped us all for information. And then promptly, when we started questioning them, they blocked us on social media. And they went on to make some sort of a big splash and made some crazy choices and did crazy things and crashed and burned, just like a meteorite going through the night sky. It looks great while it's up there, but it's going to crash and burn somewhere on the ground. So that happens. There are people who get into this for whatever dubious reasons. And again, you could define what dubious means. I know what it means to me, but people get into it And they try to make a big deal out of it, and they try to become experts at it in a very short time, and then tell everybody what to do and tell everybody how things are, and try to raise their profile and become sort of famous and whatever. And most of the community just looks at them and shakes their head and moves on. Rightfully so. I can only speak for myself, but I know a lot of other people that I have spoken to, and I do come into contact with a lot of people who do this. It's a calling. For me, it's a calling. I started playing gongs in the mid-1970s, some 50 years ago, and using them in a musical context in the bands I was playing. But along the way, I noticed that something is happening here. When I play the gong, something is happening. About the same time, I discovered various other practices like energy healing and other things, and then I started to kind of put these things together and go, oh, okay, this and this and that. And it was really about, how does this affect me? The sound affects me in a very good way. I like to make the sounds. I like to hear them. I like to feel them. I like to experience them. And then from there, it was like, I would like to share these sounds with other people. And then eventually, as I walked along the path and learned things, it became, I would like to share what I know about all of these things. Thus, the YouTube channel, the books I've written, the workshops I present, the master classes, the private lessons, all those sort of things. But for me, it's really been a calling. Music has been a calling. I've played drums since I was 12 years old. And this whole thing here with all the gongs and bells and bowls and associated instruments is a natural outgrowth of that interest in music. But even more so, for me, it was an interest in sound. I've always been interested in sounds. And that's what fascinates me, the sounds I can get out of all these instruments. And this fascination is something that I like to present to others. I love the sounds. I love the way they can combine. I love how I can get different sounds. I love the whole experience, and I like to present that to other people, either in a live context or such as this, over the internet. And we've seen, like I said, there's an explosion of people doing this. Everybody wants to be a sound healer, and I can see why. It's a very attractive thing. And again, the sounds are amazing and wonderful, and you can really get a lot from them. But too many people want to skip all the hard work and all the steps and go to just a weekend workshop and then hang up their shingle on their door, sound healer. It's like, no, don't do that. Put in your work. I just want to encourage you, if you are really serious about this and making some sort of commitment to this, you need to study. You need to put in your work. You need to learn about related fields. You need to find somebody who can help guide you along the path, at least get you started and send you on your way, and who you can touch back with when you have questions or concerns. But you need to really work at it. Again, I've been doing this for most of my life. I'm still working at it. I still study things. You should see my book pile that I'm reading now. I'm reading all kinds of things. I'm reading about magic. I'm reading about alchemy. I'm reading about sound, acoustics. I'm reading about energy. I read a lot of different things because I'm trying to inform myself. I go on the internet. I look up scientific papers. I look up presentations. I look up YouTube videos. I look at all kinds of things. It's a continual education of myself because things keep growing and expanding and changing. We know more about sound and what is happening today in 2026. It's January 2026 than 25 years ago in 2000 or back in the 1970s. We know so much more. Back then in the 70s, 50 years ago, there was very little information out there, and it was difficult to find it. But I did my work. I hunted for what I could find in books, and I wrote letters, handwritten letters, and put a stamp on them and posted them to people that I could find, and I asked them questions. I listened to LPs, some of the early ones with sound, with these instruments. And I kept doing it, and I'm still doing it today. I want to encourage everybody out there. I mean, if you're really into this, put in your work, please. Study hard, practice your instruments, read and watch everything you can and learn what you can, okay? And realize that there is no end game. There is no end goal. It's the journey. The journey is the destination. Walk your path every day. Play your instruments, listen to them, feel them, experience them, understand what's happening, and keep doing that every day. There is no, I'm here, I'm there, I'm somewhere now. There is no place to be other than in the moment, walking your path. At least that's how it is for me. I get up every day. I might come down here and play a little. I listen to my sounds. I listen to what's happening in the room. I feel what's happening to me, and I play some more. And then maybe I'll go read a book, watch a video, maybe even call somebody and have a conversation with them. Some of my friends are people I know, and we'll talk about all this. Compare notes, as it were. But it's a continual process. And again, I really want to just encourage you, keep learning, keep growing, and realize this is a lifelong endeavor, okay? And when you get discouraged, don't give up, just keep going. And what will happen, again, we've got a glut of sound workers today. Many of them will drop out because they're not in it for the long haul. We've seen that in other things like yoga and other sort of similar professions. I mean, for a while there were like 20 million yoga studios, and everybody was a yogi, and everybody taught yoga. And COVID really changed that. And the people who were in it stuck with it. And the other people who really were just kind of riding it, the whole yoga train for what they could, they're gone. And I think we'll see the same sort of fallout here in the sound work community, that down the road people will just start dropping off because they're not in it with their heart and soul. They're not in it for the long term, for life. And they will become discouraged, and they will find something else. Some new shiny bauble will appear in their life, and they will go, ooh, what's this? And they will move on to that and leave the whole sound thing behind. But if you're in it, work at it, please. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make a difference to what I do, but just for you. Study hard, practice a lot, be serious about it if you really are into it. Okay? That's my TED Talk for today. Thanks for listening. Now, go play your instruments and don't forget to listen.